In this movie, we will discuss some of the Barge Master gangway features and points of attention. The gangway is used to enable safe personnel transfers between vessels and offshore structures. This is performed by actively compensating the vessel's motions by slewing, luffing, and telescoping. The motion compensation keeps the tip of the gangway steady. To ensure a fail-safe operation, the system is fully redundant. A single, trained and qualified gangway operator controls the gangway and transfers. The gangway is mounted on a traveller frame. This frame can slide along a pedestal, making the gangway adjustable in height. The height adjustment ensures that the gangway can be placed on the height of the landing location, keeping the gangway horizontal. Inside of the pedestal, an elevator is installed. This elevator is used to provide access to the gangway from the vessel for both personnel and cargo trolleys. Before entering the gangway, personnel should wear the appropriate PPE: hard hat, safety glasses, overall, safety boots, and a life vest. Via radio, the operator informs the personnel that they can enter the transfer deck of the gangway. The gangway, when stored, can be used to access the transfer deck. This is allowed when the traffic light on the gangway is lit green. Multiple persons can use the gangway to access the transfer deck simultaneously. The elevator in the pedestal can be used to access the gangway. The operation of the elevator is similar to those of traditional elevators. When the height of the gangway is adjusted, the elevator cannot be used. In this case, the display will show PD. If the elevator stops unexpectedly and does not respond, inform the vessel crew via radio or via the emergency intercom. Do not use the roof hatch. When the elevator is at the gangway level, wait for the latches to unlock the doors and then open the doors. When exiting the elevator to the transfer deck, make sure that the gangway operator is aware of your action and has positioned the gangway correctly. Sliding gates on the transfer deck can be opened to clear the path from the elevator to the transfer deck. Be aware of the movement of the transfer deck with respect to the elevator. The last person using the elevator should close both the elevator doors and sliding gates. 15 persons are allowed on the transfer deck. When you have reached the transfer deck, hold the railing with both hands and await instructions from the gangway operator. After the gangway operator has landed the gangway, he will control the flow of persons and cargo. The operator uses traffic lights to allow the use of the gangway for transfers. Only one person is allowed to use the gangway for transferring at the same time. Other persons must wait for the operator to allow a new transfer, indicated by the traffic light. Returning from the offshore structure to the gangway is controlled in the same manner. When transferring, avoid loose gear. Keep both hands on the railing. Wear backpacks over both shoulders. Pay extra attention to the following: the sliding interface of the telescopic section. Step on and off the section carefully. The transition from the gangway tip to the offshore structure. This might have a small gap based on the vessel orientation. The red section of the gangway, on which persons should spend the least possible amount of time. If a gate on the offshore structure must be opened or closed from standing on the red section of the gangway, use a fall arrest and the designated fall arrest anchor point. When the gangway is disconnected from the offshore structure and placed back into the stored position, the gangway may be used to leave the transfer deck. Again, the traffic light is used to allow this. Multiple persons can use the gangway to leave the transfer deck simultaneously. In case of an emergency, an alarm will sound. Based on your position, the response is different. When you are on the gangway telescopic section, stop walking, hold the railing, and wait for instructions from the gangway operator. When you are not on the telescopic section, walking away from the transfer deck, step onto the telescopic section when it approaches, and stop. When you are not on the telescopic section, walking towards the transfer deck, turn around, step onto the telescopic section, and stop. When you are on the red sector of the gangway, walking towards the transfer deck, take an extra step away from the red sector and stop. The gangway uses high-pressure hydraulics. If you notice unsafe behavior or situations, warn the gangway operator or vessel crew. Follow the gangway operator's instructions at all times. If you have further questions, ask the gangway operator. When in doubt, ask. Thank you for your attention.